Yes.
With my lord permission, may I mention a case, my lord?
Case of serial number.
Daily list, my lord. Daily list serial 5. WPS 5361 of 2008. I
Right.
pray for only 2 weeks time, my lord, so that I inform the client as well as hand over the another counsel of the this file, my lord. Because I am a PP at present, I could not assess, cannot assess before my lord.
Right.
Would you raise a PP, a state is party. That's why I could not assess, my lord.
Disputes.
Court asks for your assistance. Will the chairman bar council oppose? If the court for your assistance, will the chairman bar council oppose?
No, I'm sorry, my lord. I'm
Finish.
sorry, my lord.
Finish. Let it be called out. Yes, chairman bar council will not
No, no,
oppose.
my lord's directions shall be complied. Nobody can. There is no question of.
Let the matter be called out. Let's see what is the merit of the case, Mr. Ashok.
This is the salary matter, my lord. So all petitioner has retired, my lord.
Let us see. Let us see. Let us see if some direction can be given to the state, interim direction, or if I want some instructions, I will.
There is no any instruction, my lord. There is no any instruction.
No, I am saying that if I need some instruction from the state, this. So why should I adjourn that case only for asking some instruction? I will ask for some instruction. In the meantime, you can change the lawyer. Why delay the case by 2 or 3 weeks more for seeking instruction?
My lord, date may be, my lord, my problem is my.
You don't have any problem. You don't have any problem.
Oblige, my lord. Oblige, my lord.
Except your problem is that you are not. I don't want to say in open court in our live streaming. Yes, next.
I'm sorry, my lord.
Yes.
Your Lordship, one case out of list, Your Lordship.
Out of
One
list,
M.
madam, this is not the link for out of list. Out of list, there's a separate link. I was here out of list mentioning 5 for
Okay.
6.
Thank you, Your Lordship.
May I mention from the list, Lordship?
Yes.
Serial number 15 on the
Yes.
ground of Mr. Rishi Pallava. He is suffering from fever. So bring for not today only, Lordship.
Serial number?
15. WPS 7311.
Serial number 15.
15. First chapter.
15 is 7214.
7311. Rampreet Singh.
Yes, it's 7214.
Sorry. Rampreet Singh and another.
You are also there.
Yes, I am also there, but the file is interested to Mr. Rishi Pallav. Earlier we have the file put a signature in it, but the file is not with me. File नहीं ली क्योंकि तबीयत खराब है तो
Listen, henceforth I am telling you, the name of the advocates who are there in the cause list, all will be jointly and severally and personally liable to argue.
So in that case, we'll
if you want, if you have the opportunity, you have the opportunity to get the wakalatnama signed by only one lawyer.
Yes, sir.
You have availed that opportunity. Now,
The file is not with me.
every time you will say X will argue and then Y will argue. I will not. From now on, henceforth.
The file is not with me, so I am praying, Lord, sir.
No.
Otherwise, you Monday
Let it be called out. Let it be called out.
Yes, Lord, sir.
I'll see. Privilege is with you. You get the wakalatnama signed by only one lawyer.
Lord, sir. Lord, sir.
Yes.
From supplementary causes under the heading for orders, serial number 1, second appeal 150 of 19, Mr. Jitendra Kumar Pasari for the appellant, Mr. P.S. Pati for the respondent.
May I email the judgment which was required by your lordship?
Not necessary. Give me the reference.
Yes, I have sent an email, but I am giving the judgment, my lord. Just now I have sent an email. My lord, the first judgment is of the Honorable Supreme Court. My lord, that is civil appeal number 1493 of 2022.
Yes. Have you sent the email?
Yes, my lord, just now I have sent it.
Print out.
And one more judgment I have sent of the Karnataka, Honorable Karnataka High Court, where in this Asian resurfacing was interpreted saying that this will not apply to execution. This will basically apply to original proceeding, civil suit or original proceeding, not the execution proceedings.
Now, what is your argument? You have sent it in which mail?
My lord, JSC dot code number 10.
JSC dot code number 10
Yes, at the rate gmail.com.
at the rate gmail.com. स्पैम देखिए.
I have also sent the said judgment just 10 minutes before my lord through email,
Where?
my lord. In the email, my lord.
Take it out. This one judgment.
रिफ्रेश कर लीजिए एक बार, कोर्ट मास्टर साहब आ जाना चाहिए.
Tell me now what you have to say, argue on this.
But I was praying now since, honestly, since the interim order was there, I can only make a prayer that a date may kindly be fixed. Now, fairly, since the interim order is already there, so now it is admitted case, a date may kindly be fixed.
I am extending the interim order for a period of 6 months. And I am listing this case again to see whether it can be heard or not. This case will be listed before expiry of the 6 months.
My lord.
Yes, Mr. Pasari, you are paying rent?
Yes, my lord. Yes.
What is the amount of rent you are paying?
That is 400 something, my lord. It is mentioned in
Yes, you
the.
are paying 400 rupees rent. Let me see where is the place. Jamshedpur. What is the suit area? What is this?
It is 150 square feet slope.
150 square feet shop.
Yes, my lord. Situated on the ground floor, my lord, of the building.
Ground floor.
And in the same building, the landlord have also a shop, my lord. It's a market, my lord.
That too at the Chowk Bazaar of Juksalai, which is the heart of the commercial activity of the Juksalai market.
Subject to payment of 2,500 rupees per month.
2,500 per month.
Seek instruction from your client.
Then my lord may pass the order if he will pay.
It's very nominal in considering Juksalai. 2,500 is like nothing for him.
If he will pay, my lord may pass the order.
Yes. Okay. IA number?
IA number 1325 of 2022, my lord.
On
1325
1325.
2020.
Take down. IA number 1325 of 22. This IA has been filed under Order 41 Rule 5 of the CPC to further stay the execution case number 247 of 2018 pending before Civil Judge Senior Division 1 at Jamshedpur. Next paragraph. Counsel for the appellant submits that this second appeal has already been admitted and a question of law has been formulated. He submits that this petitioner appellant is a tenant and an execution case is proceeding to evict the tenant from the premises after the degree has been passed against him. He submits that when the second appeal was admitted by order dated 27th February 2020, the execution case being execution case number 247 of 2018, which was pending before the executing court, i.e. Civil Judge Senior Division Jamshedpur, was stayed. He submits that now the executing court is proceeding with the execution case in view of the order passed by the Honorable Supreme Court in the case of Asian resurfacing, so and so, so and so. He submits that, he lastly submits that if the stay is not granted and if the petitioner is, if the appellant is evicted from the premises, this entire appeal, which has been admitted, will become infructuous. Next para. Mr. P.S. Pati, appearing on behalf of the respondent, submits that admittedly the appellant is a tenant and he lost before both the courts. He submits that the respondent, the landlord, is being deprived of the fruits of the decree. This is, Mr. Pati, this is an eviction on the ground of a default or for personal necessity also. Yes, Mr. Pasari? Default, only default. Okay. Fruit of the decree. He submits that in the event, ultimately the appeal is allowed in favor of the tenant appellant, he may prefer an appropriate application for restitution of possession. First of next para. After hearing the counsel for the parties, I find that the appellant is a tenant. Full stop. The second appeal has been admitted, and a point of comma, and the admitted and a point of comma, and a point of law has been formulated. Full stop. If during pendency of this appeal, the appellant is evicted, this entire appeal will become infructuous. Full stop. This court is also of the opinion that in the event this appeal is allowed, the decree has to be set aside. And in that event, by virtue of this decree, the appellant cannot be evicted. Full stop. Thus, evicted. Full stop. Mr. Pati, what is the judgment you are referring to?
Yeah, yes, my lord. That is that your lordship has asked me to furnish. That is Sumriddhi Sambhaji Padwal and other.
Okay.
Civil Appeal number 1493 of 22, wherein the Honorable Supreme Court has said that making the case only admitting without interim order will make it infructuous.
Well, paragraph it is.
First 2-3 lines. Yes, my lord. This paragraph is not given. Second paragraph. In any matter more so in this nature, there is no charity to be done by the court by admitting the matter and making it infructuous.
Where?
Page 1.
Second paragraph. In any matter more so of this
nature, there is no charity to be done by the court by admitting the matter and making it infructuous and adding to the arrears list of the High Court. Either the writ was liable to be allowed or dismissed. After opining that it was required to be dismissed, we no see point. Why is it was having said so, we may notice submission of the learned counsel.
Yes.
Yes. Notice submission of the learned counsel to parties on merit where he relies on order dated such and such. This order learned counsel state was placed on record along with copy of the petition filed earlier. He has drawn our attention to the paragraph 3 of the order where a concession is being made and recorded on behalf of the board. In terms of concession, it has been opined that the examination held in February 20 to appear in class improvement examination to be held by board in the last week of September could be considered as the first attempt. Thus, the submission of learned counsel for appellant that attempt made by him earlier should be taken first attempt. Whether in facts of case this proposition would apply or not is something in the High Court is required to consider merit. We are thus of a view that the appropriate course of action would be to set as the impugner to extend it grants admission and says no stay with a direction that the matter be examined in course of the aforesaid controversy at the admission itself and view taken on merits one way or the other. The civil appeal is allowed in the aforesaid, requiring the High Court to decide the matter of merit in terms aforesaid, keeping in mind the judgment of the coordinate bench of the court as may be applicable to the facts of the present case expeditiously in order to ensure that the relief claimed by appellant does not become infructuous as he would know his fate one way or the other. My lord, yesterday your lordship has asked me to provide this judgment where the Honorable Supreme Court has deprecated that simply admitting it and making it infructuous will not be a proper remedy. So this was the case your lordship has asked me to submit. And the other judgment I have given, my lord, of the Honorable Karnataka High Court. Those don't support me, my lord. Those are against me.
First, admitting this appeal and not staying the execution case will amount to multiplicity of proceeding. In the event the appeal is finally allowed, or if the second appeal or the execution case is not stayed and allowed to reach to its logical conclusion by evicting the defendant, this second appeal, which is already admitted on the point of law, has been formulated, will render infructuous. Full stop. Thus, this court feels that there's a prima facie case in favor of the appellant, since this appeal itself has been admitted. Full stop. The balance of convenience is in favor of the appellant tenant. Full stop. And in the event this stay is not granted, the appellant will suffer irreparable loss. Thus, I'm inclined to state the further proceedings of the execution case number so and so for a period of 6 months. Full stop. This case to be listed before expiry of the said period to explore the situation as to whether the entire appeal can be heard. Entire second appeal can be heard. Full stop. This order is subject to the condition that till further orders, the appellant will remit a sum of 2,500 per month to the landlord respondent. You furnish the bank account details.
My lord.
In the bank account, in his bank account. So details of the bank account of the landlord will be furnished. Or let him deposit here only.
Through demand draft in his name, drawn in his name, he may deposit.
To be deposited before
The executing court, my
the executing court. Every month to be deposited before the executing court. Full stop. Default of 1 month. Default for any month will subject to deposit of so and so. This I is disposed of.
obliged.
Yes, Mr. Pasari. Unmute yourself. Unmute.
Malo, from the month of March, I will pay to
Yes.
2,500.
The payment should start from the month of March.
Yes, Malo.
The payment should the first payment should be made on or before 30th of March.
Obliged, Malo.
From daily causes, under the heading final disposal, serial number 1, WPS 4438 of 30, Mr. Rajendra, Mr. Rohit from the petitioners, Mr. Sudarshan Srivastava, Mr. Ajit Kumar, Mr. Ajit Kumar Singh, Mr. Rajesh Kumar for the response.
Milords, I am appearing on behalf of the petitioner, Milords. Milords, the prayer of the petitioner, Milords, it is, Milords, the case has been filed by the associations, Milord, and the prayer which has been made is, Milord, the stenographer and clerks. The pay scale of a stenographer and clerks should be, Milord, say either in the scale of 5,000 to 8,000 or 5,500 to 9,000 with effect from 1/1/1996. On the ground, Milords, that the petitioners, Milord, the stenographers, the members of the petitioners working as stenographers and clerk, their educational qualification, Milords, in the year in 1992, from matriculation, it was raised to graduation. And Milords, thereafter, the entire nature of work, Milord, and wherever in all the departments, wherever there is a post of clerk, the minimum qualification is, Milord, say the graduate, the scale is different than the scale which is given to the clerks in the Mufassal office. Milord, this issue was adjudicated by Honorable Patna High Court also, and a judgment is also there. But before that, Milord, the most important is that, Milord, in the meantime, the Shetty Commission has given its report. And that report of the Shetty Commission has been accepted by the Honorable Supreme Court. And the Shetty Commission has given, Milords, a pay structure, though it was Shetty Commission was asked to give, Milords, what can be the better service conditions of the petitioner. So while giving the better service conditions, they have given a pay structure also, Milords, of all these persons. And those
civil courts.
Of civil courts, Milord.
These are stenographer and clerks of the civil courts.
Yes, Milord. Shetty
What
Commission.
they are getting now? What is the scale which they are getting now?
Milord, now presently, Milord, in the 1996, Milord, they are getting the pay scale of 4,000 to 6,000, which has subsequently been revised in 2006 and now in 2007.
What is the revision?
2006, Milord, now the revision is, Milords, the revision is 9,300 to 34,800 in the grade pay of 4,200. If, Milord, the petitioner pay scale from 4,000 to 6,000 is revised in 5,000 to 8,000, then petitioner grade pay will be 4,200. 4,200.
Earlier it was how much?
Milords, earlier it was 2,200, 2,400.
Now it will be 4,200.
Now it will be 42. Only the issue is the difference of grade pay. Because otherwise, Milords, the scale will remain
the same. The scale will remain.
That will remain the same. Only this much of difference.
Now what happened to the Shetty Commission?
Yes, Milord, that is Shetty Commission has recommended the pay scale of 4,000 to 6,000. Milord, there are 3 grades for Shetty Commission, 3 separate grade of clerks. They have divided A, B, and C. C is, Milord, those stenographers who are serving, Milord, the judicial office, the judicial magistrate. Then, Milord, thereafter, Milord, the additional session judge. Thereafter, Milord, the principal district judge. So 3 categories the Shetty Commission is divided. And then, Milord, the lowest category is 4,000 to 6,000.
So now?
So, Milord, therefore, Milord, my submission is, Milord, now when Shetty Commission was accepted by the Honorable Supreme Court, then the Honorable Supreme Court, Milord, there are 2 judgment, Milords, I have sent to my lords. That's what the Supreme Court has said, that any, Milords, grievances that can be raised before the respective high courts. Because after this, my lord, Shetty Commission, which was accepted by the Honorable Supreme Court, directed the state government to implement. And with that, my lords, if your lordships, my lords, may I allowed to read, my lords, because it is one-page order. Because unless, my lord, unless we comes out,
Is High Court a party to this litigation?
my lords, direction
Yes,
is
I represent your lordship.
all the high courts. All the high courts and direct.
Who is representing High Court?
I am representing your lordship.
The High Court.
Yes, your lordship.
Is the party.
Number 4.
Now the question is, Shetty Commission categorizes the stenos and clerks in 3 grades.
I think, my lord, before that, my lord, I would like to draw your lordship attention towards the order passed in WPS number 3479
Yes,
of 2011.
yes,
Order date last, it has been disposed of on 23rd of August 2021 by a coordinate bench of this honorable court.
yes. With the what is
My
the
lord, there
similar?
was also similar prayer was there for a scale of a stenographer of civil code. That is prayer number B in that writ application that has been quoted in that order also.
Okay.
And that the redressal is there. Therefore, the counsel of petitioner, in that case, Mr. Indrajit Sinha, get the case disposed of on that term in view of the counter affidavit of the state government.
They
So
have given-
far, I think, my lord, that order should have been placed before the lordship. I will forward that order just now. If the lordship
WPS. No, I'll get it up. See, check it.
And
WPS 9 of 2011.
one more fact, if your lordship may allow.
Yes.
My lord, I have find a record from my record, my lord, I find that there is a supplementary counter affidavit on behalf of respondent number 2.
Do you have,
There it has been stated.
Mr. Srivastava, just answer me. Do you have sufficient number of stenos for your judicial officers?
For that, I have to seek instruction the latest position. But so far as scale is concerned,
Number one.
the scale,
Number one. Number 2. I remember I had passed an order for recruitment of the stenographers and for creating posts and recruitment. State government at first objected to that, but thereafter good senses prevailed and they sanctioned those posts. And that is most probably 4 years back, 3.5 years back. What have you done?
perhaps that was one of the relief in that writ application which I have just referred now. उसमें भी appointment का बात था.
What have you done? Tell me.
Latest instruction I have to take on that issue, but that writ was.
You have done nothing. I'm sorry to say. Let me go through this. Correctly. Tell your client to join the proceeding. Mr. Srivastava.
Registrar General, your lordship.
I don't know who is your client.
I'm just I'm give me 1 minute, my lord. I will contact.
By that time, let me go through this judgment. Tell your client to join.
Milords, probably in the earlier writ petition, that was the order which has been quashed, Milord, is that the finance department is showing that there is a parity of post of Milords stenographers in the civil court vis-a-vis the stenographers in the Mufassir. So that is the parity established by the finance department. Probably in those writ petitions, those parity has been quashed. Though Milords, here also we have challenged that by way of.
Let me read that. Let me read this judgment. What is the pay scale of the stenographer of the Mufassils?
4,000 to 6,000.
So as recommended by the Shetty Commission.
Milord, that is yes, Shetty, Milord, that is for recommendations for the judicial staff, for the staff of the civil court, Milord.
No, by this after going through this judgment
My
order,
lord.
I find that there was a disparity between the pay scale of the stenographer of the civil court and the stenographer of the Mufassil
My
state.
lords.
So that has the parity has been brought.
Yes,
This disparity has been removed. So now everyone is getting the scale of 4,000 to 6,000.
my lords.
So, but here your case is that you are claiming a scale of 5,000 to 8,000.
My lords.
The Honorable Supreme Court has accepted the recommendation of the Shetty Commission. That means Honorable Supreme Court has also accepted that the scale should be 4,000 to 6,000.
Yes, that is given. Lord.
Now your at best, your grievance is to press for a relief where you can pray that let the recommendation of the Shetty Commission be implemented. If it is
They
not,
have implemented.
then now what remains?
They have implemented, my lords.
Now what remains?
Now, my submission is that this issue was, my lord, continuing since 1995. That whether
Now listen one thing.
my lords.
Now, if you say from 1995 I was entitled to get to 5,000 to 8,000, that means by virtue of the Shetty Commission, your scale has to be downgraded. Then you will shout that no, my scale cannot be downgraded.
Therefore, the Honorable Supreme Court has said this issue. And lords, in 2015, the Punjab and Haryana High Court raised this issue, which went to Honorable Supreme Court. Then the Honorable Supreme Court said, whatever grievances you have, you just move to the High Court. Lord, therefore, Lord, because it is for the betterment of service condition, Lord, there the scale which was given.
Mr.
My lords.
Rajendra Krishna, your clients are definitely entitled to get a better service condition. But ask your clients how much service they give so that they are harping for a better service condition.
Lord, now this question, Lord, in fact, I asked them yesterday. They said, sir, we are so overloaded, we are doing lot of work.
Overloaded. Don't. If they think they are overloaded, let them resign and go.
May I request one thing? May I request a lot?
I'm sorry, Lord, not overloaded, but they say we are sincerely discharging our duty, whatever Lord is being given to them.
May I request
Whatever
one thing?
Lords.
Yes.
My lord, my client has no link, your lordship. I will request the court to ask the court master, direct the court master. I'm obliged, your lordship.
Send the link to the Registrar General immediately.
And your lordship may kindly see the counter affidavit of a state government, respondent number 2. The grievance of the petitioner is redressed.
The state government is telling since beginning there are 3 counter affidavit by the state. But my lord, see the count.
Supplementary counter. I am emphasizing on supplementary.
Yes, Mr. Tiwari. Yes, Mr. Tiwari. Yes, Mr. Tiwari.
My lord, on the basis of just in compliance of the order passed by the Honorable Supreme Court and the SETI Commission's report, my lord, one letter and resolution has also been just issued by the Department of Finance. That's why letter number, my lord, 2463 dated 18/8/2015 itself, my lord. And categorically everything has been explained. What was the proposal of the SETI Commission, what was the recommendation of the SETI Commission, and what was the guideline to implement it into a state government deploy.
What is that letter? Annexure?
My lord, I am referring. Am I audible, my lord?
Yes.
I am referring the counter affidavit filed by respondent number 3, that is Law Secretary.
Yes, Undersecretary. It's signed by the Undersecretary Law.
Undersecretary Law, my lord. Dated 10/5/2018, my lord. It has been filed on 10/5/18.
2018. Yes.
My lord, to kindly see Annexure A.
Yes. Yes.
It's a resolution.
इसमें annexure 3 का कहाँ है?
Also, elaborate later and the implementation, the scheme of implementation of that setting commission has been discussed in this letter, my lord, and how they are bound to just obey the order passed by the Honorable Supreme Court, my lord. May I permit you to read, my lord, just if the lord will go through.
Yeah, Mr. Rajendra Krishna, come to this.
This is my lord's पांचवा वेतन पुनरीक्षण
Come to para 8.
para 8. Yes, para 8.
See, stenographer. Grade 1, 5,500 to 9,000.
Yes, my lord.
Grade 2, 5,000 to 8,000, which you are claiming.
Yes.
And grade 3, 4,000 to 6,000. It is स्वर्ण को वेतन एवं भत्तों को, just go to the paragraph about that. भत्तों को दिनांक 1/4/2003 के प्रभाव से
स्वीकृत वेतन
2005 तक के लिए निम्न शर्तों पर स्वयं सो. Something has been done.
Therefore, because this we are challenging, not this we are not challenging. We are what we are saying that our the basic scale should be in the scale of 5,000 to 8,000.
So you have given scale of 8,000 to 8,000 in grade. This is because of the Sati Commission recommendation which has been accepted by the Honorable Supreme Court. So how can you ask for something else now?
I can only ask, Lord, for the reason that though Sati Commission has given accepted by the Supreme Court, but the Honorable Supreme Court, if my lords may kindly see the report, entire report. Yes. For a different high courts, a different pay scale. 5,000 is given, another so different pay scale has been given for different high courts. My submission is, my lords, when our minimum qualification is graduate, and lords, all the graduate level clerks in the state of Jharkhand is getting the minimum pay scale of 5,000 to 8,000. We can't be deprived of that, because the reason they say only that you will not get those scale because our post is not similar to the post of Mufassil. I say Mufassil appointment is on a base intermediate pace matric qualification. So it cannot be equated, and this Lord Honorable Supreme on Patna High Court has given a judgment that when the standing committee has recommended, this recommendation is in accordance with law, state government can't reject it. Lord, these facts, Lord, since it was not brought before the Safety Commission, therefore, and not only my case, in various other high courts, the disputes were raised. And therefore, the Honorable Supreme Court has given this liberty that any dispute you have, you raise before their own respective high courts.
Where is that?
Yes, Lord, that I am reading. So, therefore, at the outset, I have said, Lord, let us come over this direction, whether Honorable Lords, my Lord, can interfere or not at this stage. If lordships of the view that
there will be interference in the judicial side, where your submission is that as per the judgment of the Honorable Supreme Court, the decision can be taken at the administrative side by the High Court. Which can later on be a subject matter of a judicial review.
No, yes, administrative side, since they have taken a decision, now they say that they have implemented and they will only provide 4,000 to 6,000 in grade C.
Yes, grade 3.
Grade 3. We say that no, in grade 3 you have to give 5,000 to 8,000 because we are a graduate level clerk, and in all the departments, qualification of graduate level is getting 5,000 to 8,000.
What is the minimum qualification, Registrar General, for your stenographers in the civil courts?
Lordship, I will verify, Lordship. जहाँ तक मुझे अंदाज याद है 12th ग्रेजुएशन है और उसके बाद जो है वो एक्सपीरियंस है स्टेनोग्राफी का, और I will verify.
Graduation is the minimum entry level qualification.
Graduation and experience.
1992 का जो रूल्स बना था, जो फर्स्ट टाइम ग्रेजुएशन आया था in the year 1992. That is reported, that is the rules of
state. What is the pay scale of stenographers in your steno cadre of graduate stenographers?
Lordship, हम verify कर लेते हैं, Lordship बता.
State, I am asking state. State is there. Yes, Mr. Tiwari. Mr. Tiwari, unmute yourself.
Lord, that we have stated, we have brought on record, Lords. In every department, it is, Lords, 5,000 to 8,000.
8,000 to 8,000.
Yes, Lords, in every department.
Mufassil also.
No, Mufassil, Lords, because the qualification is matric level. Mufassil, the qualification of Lords, for appointment of a stenographer and a clerk is matric.
Maybe.
Therefore, Lords, cannot be equated. Why, sir?
No, Mr. Hendra Krishna, just think on this way also. It is a minimum qualification.
Lords, maximum qualification is always minimum, Lords.
It's a minimum qualification. Suppose if a graduate,
Lords,
does the Mufassil level, can he claim 5,000 to 8,000?
Lords, he can, Lords. Because, Lords, in Lords,
In a Mufassil.
Mufassil cannot claim, Lord, because their qualification is, Lord, say, matric level post and the nature of job. Otherwise, Lord, they can say that my nature of job is equivalent to the nature of job of secretarial cadre. So, but they will not get, because secretarial cadre, Lord, like Lord, see in this transaction, same advertisement by the High Court stenographer and by the Civil Court stenographer. Those who got a high rank will be they were appointed in the High Court.
It is out of the same advertisement.
Same transaction. So, Lord, so therefore, Lord, Lord, this was adjudicated by the Honorable Court, Lord Justice. Lord, Patna High Court has given a very classical judgment, Lord, that this should be the pay scale. They cannot say, Lord, that we cannot be equated with the Mufassil clerks. And therefore, the Lord, erstwhile Patna High Court screening committee has also recommended that, and here, Lord, our three-man committee constituted. The committee has given the report.
In the High Court, what is the scale?
In the High Court is 500 to 9,000. Lord, abhi ho gaya hai 6,500 to 10,000.
No, entry scale, I am saying the pre-revised. It's 5,000.
So far, I recall 5,500 to 9,000.
अभी इनका जो 9,300 to 20,000 मालो जो अभी इनको मिल रहा है सिविल कोर्ट्स को.
No, sure. No, Mr. Registrar General, I just called you for a purpose.
My lord.
What is the status of fresh appointments of stenographers in the civil courts, for which the government has already sanctioned?
Lordship, that is in process, Lordship. हम लोग उसको कर रहे हैं.
This direction was given by this court most probably 3.5 years ago, when the state government has also concurred and they had sanctioned you more than 200 posts.
जी, लॉर्डशिप प्रोसेस में हम लोग वेरीफाई करके लॉर्डशिप बता देते हैं पूरा वेरीफाई करके.
How much time will this process take? This was a judicial order passed. This was a judicial order passed by this court to appoint and directing the state to create post. State created the post 3.5 years back, and for 3.5 years you couldn't even.
लॉर्डशिप हमें थोड़ा सा अगर टाइम दिया जाएगा हम वेरीफाई करके लॉर्डशिप पूरा अप्राइज कर देंगे ऑनरेबल कोर्ट.
Just now tell me what is the status.
जी लॉर्डशिप.
Just now tell me what is the status.
जी लॉर्डशिप मैं बताता हूँ लॉर्डशिप वेरीफाई करके. जी लॉर्डशिप.
Because as per the Shetty Commission, there are 3 grades of stenographers in the civil courts also.
My lord.
A stenographer attached with the munsif, stenographer attached with district judges and PDJs, they have to get different scales.
Yes, Lordship.
If you implement this, then a stenographer who is working with a magistrate cannot be allowed to work with the district judges.
Yes, Lordship.
So if that be so, you should have a sufficient number of stenographers.
Yes, Lordship.
You have that?
अभी हम लोगों के पास वैकेंसी है स्टेनोग्राफर में, डिस्ट्रिक्ट्स में भी वैकेंसी है लॉर्डशिप. अभी काफी वैकेंसी है, प्रोसेस करना है हम लोगों को.
What steps the High Court has taken?
लॉर्डशिप में वेरीफाई करके लॉर्डशिप को प्राइस करते हैं लॉर्डशिप.
Yes, price just now. You log in after 5 or 10 minutes. I'm keeping this case at about 12:30. Come up with all the details and the order And the order which I passed in the bail application, it was in a bail application, the order was passed on, as far as I remember.
Your Lordship.
12:30, Mr. Krishna. And show me, what is the judgment, Mr. Rajendra Krishna? Where the court has directed to approach the High Court. Unmute.
My lords, the two judgments which I have sent to my lords.
No,
One,
you said
one lords by the Supreme Court accepting the Shetty Commission.
you have sent it by email.
Yes, Lord, by email.
Court number 10.
Court number 10. Lords.
Okay, my office will take it out.
This one, our second order is also important, Lords. When the dispute was raised, then the Honorable Supreme Court said that raised the dispute before the respective High Courts. These two, Lords. And finally, Lords, one more judgment, Lords, from Justice Ganguly of Patna High Court. That is, Lords, we have enclosed, the High Court has filed a counter in which the Honorable Jharkhand High Court has enclosed it. And those are exactly on this issue itself.
Okay.
I would like to refer those, Lords.
Okay.
Oblige, Lords.
Next.
Under the heading orders with defect, serial number 2, CMP number 189 of 21, Mr. Mohammed Asadullah for the petitioner, Mr. Amit Kumar Das for the respondent.
My lordship.
Yes.
For last occasion, my lord, 11/2/2022, my lord, for 3 weeks time for removing the defect. Actually, I am inspection slip 14/2/2022, but not a file is required, not a removable slip. So I am not a defect removal.
I couldn't understand what you said. I am unable to understand what you are saying.
Hi, my lord.
Yes.
Yes, my lord. Last occasion, my lord, 11/2/22 order with defect for 3 weeks time. Removing the defect, I am inspection slip filed, but not being defect removed, my lord. So kindly 2 weeks time granted, my lord.
3 weeks time by last intelligence to remove the defect.
Yes, I will. I will.
Under the heading for orders, serial number 3, CMP number 141 of 21, Mr. Siddharth Roy, Ms. Sandhya Sahib for the petitioners, Mr. Santosh Kumar for the respondent.
In this case, Your Worship, I am appearing for the petitioner, Your Worship. This case, Your Worship, is a restoration application in which Your Worship IA has been filed.
The respondent has appeared?
Yes, Your Worship, all the respondents have probably appeared, Your Worship. The names are flashing, Your Worship, in the list. In the IA application, IA number 3828 of 2021,
yes,
the delay is of 736 days, Your Worship, for filing this restoration application, Your Worship. The reasons have been stated in para 4, 5, and 6. If Your Lordship may kindly have a look to.
4, 5, and 6.
Yes, Your Lordship. Actually, the applicant was not having knowledge, Your Lordship, or information about the dismissal of the appeal, Your Lordship.
Means you were not represented before.
It was dismissed for non-prosecution, Your Lordship. This appeal, the MA, for restoration of MA, Your Lordship, this CMP has been filed. So that was dismissed, Your Lordship, for non-prosecution by the coordinate bench of this Honorable Court on 7/2/2018, Your Lordship, by Honorable Mr. Justice Amitabh Gupta.
Maybe.
So the applicant was not having any knowledge, Your Lordship, only in the month of February 2021. He came to know that the appeal was dismissed, Your Lordship.
But it can't be believed. The case was listed and you say no one is appearing. Because it transfers from the record of none had appeared on behalf appellant before the last hearing about to the joint register judicial hour 2 weeks time was granted to remove the defect, but the defects were not even removed and the matter was placed before the last hearing about register general today also none appeared on view. It appears that the appellant main file लीजिए थे.
7th February 2018, Your Lordship, the order was passed. Paragraph 3 of the order may kindly be seen, Your Lordship. 7th 2018's order. Today also none has appeared on behalf of the appellant on repeated calls. Neither the defects have been removed. It appears that the appellant is not interested in prosecuting the case, hence the appeal is hereby dismissed for non-prosecution. Other appeals have also been filed from the same common award, Your Lordship, by the claimant also, Your Lordship, in this particular case, Your Lordship. And this appeal has been filed, Your Lordship, by the owner of the vehicle.
When and how you came to know? When
Sorry,
and
Your
how
Lordship?
you came to know that the case got dismissed? When
Yes,
and
sir.
how you came to know that the case got dismissed?
In the month of February 2021, Your Lordship, I have stated in para 5.
How there cannot be a too vague statement than this. How did you come to know about dismissal?
After, Your Lordship, checking the status of the case, because, Your Lordship, the counsel who was appearing at that point of time, no information was given from his side, Your Lordship. Thereafter, no objection was taken, Your Lordship, and I have filed the wakalatnama, Your Lordship, in the CMP.
No, I'm not satisfied with your affidavit. With your
If Your Lordship
application.
may kindly appreciate, Your Lordship, I am the vehicle owner, Your Lordship.
Maybe. You may be any XYZ, I'm not into the merits of this case.
Then, Your Lordship, I'll file a supplementary affidavit clarifying the position, Your Lordship, how they came to know, Your Lordship. Exactly
Yes.
how they came to know.
Yes,
I'll file a supplementary affidavit to that effect.
yes.
Yes, Your Lordship.
A supplementary affidavit.
2 weeks' time may be given, Your Lordship.
Detailed supplementary affidavit you file. When, how?
Yes, Your Lordship. Detailed supplementary affidavit.
Three weeks time as prayed for is granted to the council to file supplementary affidavit as the petition filed under section, as a petition filed under section 5 of the Limitation Act is vague, is with the vague grounds.
Obliged, Your Lordship.
Under the heading for admission, serial number 4, WPS 1788 of 2008, Mr. Rajiv Kumar, Mr.
May please, Lordship.
Petitioner.
May please, Lordship. This writ application has been filed by the three writ petitioners not challenging Annexure 8 series in 2008. Whereby Annexure Milord 8 series, that is at page 31 onwards. Page 31. There are
Yes.
three petitioners, the three orders which have been conjointly challenged by them, Milord.
You read
Page
that?
31, Milord, subject to your Lordship's kind pleasure, I may be permitted to place it, Milord.
Yes.
Page 30.
34.
Yes, Milord. Page 34. Such and such, the date is Milord 14/12/2005.
Yes.
Addressed to the petitioner Milord, चपरासी एसएस इंटर महाविद्यालय चास बोकारो। आपको सूचित किया जाता है कि स्वामी सहजानंद इंटर महाविद्यालय चास के तत्कालीन तदर्थ समिति द्वारा लिए गए निर्णय के अनुरूप दिनांक 8/6/2005 से आपकी अस्थायी सेवा समाप्त कर दी गई है। तत्पश्चात झारखंड अधिविध परिषद के पत्रांक 28/9/2005 के निर्णय के अनुरूप वर्तमान तदर्थ समिति द्वारा दिनांक 12/12/2005 की आयोजित बैठक में दिनांक 8/6/2005 के उपरोक्त निर्णय की संपुष्टि की गई। So, my lord, it is a confirmation of the earlier termination, and your lordship may kindly see the grounds which I have taken. Lord, para 16, 17, 18 of the writ petition. Apart from this, my lord, I may be permitted to refer, my lord, some of the facts, my lord, subject to lordship's kind pleasure. Annexure 1, page 16, if your lordship may kindly see, the petitioner number 1 was appointed, my lord, on 6/3/1991.
What is your appointment letter?
Yes, on page 16. Page 16. 6/3/1991. Then, my lord, page 17, petitioner number 2. Page 18, petitioner number 3. These are the 3 appointment letters. In the year 1991, in 1990, 2 persons. In 91, the petition number 1 has been pleased to appoint you as assistant. The post is purely temporary and is liable to termination at any time without assigning any reason. You are directed to join. The terms of this tenor of the letter, my lord, is this. And the second one, my lord, 27 to 1990, the petition number 2, Dhrublal Maji, assistant examination clerk. The same language. Then third one, my lord, annexure 1/2, page 18, 23, 3/7/1990. He was appointed as a peon. So these 3 persons, after appointment, continued for, my lord, 14 years. And after 14 years, they have been sacked. Now, my lord, that too with reference to, my lord, what happened, my lord, earlier they have been, the notices were issued, my lord, termination orders were passed by the previous decision. Then, my lord, your lordship may kindly come to, my lord, page 22, wherein page 22 annexure 3, wherein the pay scales were fixed by the principal and it was sent for approval. That is details of the teaching staff and non-teaching staff, including the present petitioners. For the purposes of pay scale in 2001, after completion of more than 10 years. Then, my lord, all these things, my lord, and all these 3 years, I was working. And on annexure 4, page 26, this is Uparankit Bisayak, Swami Sahajanand इंटर महाविद्यालय चास के तदर्थ समिति के बैठक में 8/6/2005 को लिए गए निर्णय के अनुरूप गैर स्वीकृत पद पर आपकी अस्थायी सेवा तत्काल प्रभाव से समाप्त की जाती है. And that was not satisfied by the JAC. Then JAC direction for inquiry, and that was press release was published. That I have annexed note annexure 5, and on that basis note annexure 6, the press release by the JAC, Jharkhand Academic Council.
Yes.
Then this annexure 7, page 31. Your lordship may kindly see, my lord. This is the letter which has been referred to.
Yes.
Your lordship may kindly see. मानव संसाधन विकास विभाग के अधिसूचना संख्या इतना 10/8/9/2001 के आलोक में बिहार कॉलेज सेवा आयोग की अनुशंसा के पैनल के आधार पर की गई नियुक्ति रद्द किया जाए, जिस दिन बिहार कॉलेज सेवा आयोग के विज्ञापन हेतु भेजा गया, उस दिन उचित योग्यता रखने वाले शिक्षकों को ही, that relates to मेरा शिक्षक. We are not concerned with this. 1, 2, 3, 4 all are related to मेरा शिक्षक. Then my lord, your lordship may kindly come to my lord, para 6, page 32. प्राचार्य से यह स्पष्टीकरण मांगा जाए कि उन्होंने किस परिस्थिति में गबन के आरोप में लंबित मुकदमे में से निम्नलिखित 4 में से 3 महाविद्यालय के सेवा रखा गया. We are not concerned with that. It does not speak anything with regard to us, my lord, or non-teaching staff. Now, by referring this letter, the next meeting, the annexure 8 series were passed without anything, my lord. So, para 16, 17, 18, I have raised all these points.
Just tell me, the
Yes,
post in which you were appointed was a sanctioned permanent post or not?
Sanctioned post, that is the reason the pay scales were proposed and it was sent for affirmation.
No. Whether there were any other person working in that post?
Yes, no, that then your lordship may kindly see, that is the reason the counter affidavit was sought for, my lord, by order dated
Whether
2015.
Whether you were appointed pursuant to any advertisements?
Advertisement.
If you have been appointed against a permanent sanctioned post, there should have been an advertisement.
Of course, my lord. But your lordship may kindly see, my lord, there are 2 things, my lord. In Uma Devi's case, para 50 and para 54.
Whether any advertisement is there or not?
On record, at the moment, I did not annex. At the same time, the 4/8/2015, the direction was given to the state to file counterfeit. No such counterfeit. Of course, my record does not show any counterfeit.
Where's for the state?
Lordship, I am appearing for the state, Malad.
Where is the counter affidavit?
Lordship, the case is for this private respondent, that is Swami Sajanand Mahavidyalaya. So far as my lord, the sanction post is concerned, my lord, the annexure 1 and annexure 4 purely says that the appointment was done on purely temporary and is liable to be termination at any point of time, my lord, without any notice. Also, my lord, in annexure 4, it is stated that the persons were kept against non-sanctioned post, my lord. The annexure 1 and annexure 4, which is being shown by
They are doing on air without any document.
No, there is document, my lord. Annexure 1 and annexure 4 clearly speaks about the same.
Each and every appointment letter in your state is issued that it is temporary in nature and you can be removed. Just tell me one thing. Whether these petitioners were working against a permanent vacant sanction.
No, my lord. No, my lord.
From where are you saying this?
My lord, from the appointment letter of the petitioner on which the petitioner is relying, my lord. Annexure 1. Also, my lord, the annexure 4. I will file the counter affidavit.
Are you sure?
My lord, I will file the counter affidavit bringing on record this.
Why haven't you filed the counter affidavit? Why haven't till date you have not filed counter affidavit?
My lord, within 2 weeks I will file, my lord.
7 years has passed.
2 weeks time is granted to the state to file a counter affidavit.
Obliged, my lord.
Full stop. Who is for the private respondents?
The Jack is there, my lord. The Jharkhand Academic Council, respondent number 5. So far, the private respondents are concerned 3 and 4.
Who is Jack? Who is appearing for Jharkhand Academic Council?
Mrs. Richa Sanchita, my lord.
Mrs. Richa Sanchita usually appears, my lord, although I am also in panel, my lord.
He may also.
Mr. Abhijit Kumar Singh will appear on behalf of respondent number 5, Jack.
Obliged.
And will ensure filing of counter affidavit within 3 weeks. Okay. The Jharkhand Academic Council is also directed to inform respondent number 3 and 4 from the college and ensure filing of counter affidavit by respondent number 3 and 4 also within 3 weeks. Yeah, Mr. Abhijit, the college is under you. Tell the college to file an affidavit.
Obliged.
4 weeks.
Obliged.
Number 5, WPS 561 of 2008, Mr. Ashok Kumar for the petitioner, Mr. Suresh Kumar, Mr.
In this case, my lord, to reconstruct the file and as well as inform the client.
Let me see what is the prayer. What is the development?
In this case, my lord, I am for the respondent bank, my lord, and my file is missing, my lord. So I am trying to arrange the file, my lord.
Let me see what is the prayer.
Lordship, the prayer is regarding question of annexure issued for the respondent state of Jharkhand by the bank.
Areas of salary.
Yep. From the period 1st of April 2002, 25th of June 2002, Lordship. He used to be an employee of State Cooperative Land Development Bank, Lordship, and he was made to superannuate loan. He challenged before that order of superannuation was challenged by him.
There is a problem with your audio and video units. There's a problem with your audio and video units. Mr. Prudent, please.
Am I audible, Lord?
Your voice is cracking and I can't
Sitting in, I have been sitting in Lordship High Court premises in chambers. Problem, Lordship.
There's a network problem. What is your stand?
A specific direction was given to the Bihar Rajya Sahkari Bhumi Vikas Bank to make the payment of the salary because series of litigation have been fought by this petitioner. Up to Supreme Court, this bank also contested the matter and they lost lawsuit. Ultimately, they have to make the payment lawsuit. So, in this matter, Lordship, I am appearing on behalf of Mr. 2 and 3, Your Lordship, and a specific direction was given to the Managing Director, Bihar Cooperative Land Development Bank Societies to make the payment of area of salary relating to the petitioner, Lordship.
That has not been paid.
Yes,
Okay.
Lordship.
On the request of the parties, that is Mr. Mahesh Kumar Sinha and Ashok Kumar. Ashok Kumar and Mahesh Kumar Sinha. This case is adjourned. Make arrangement within 3 weeks.
Oblige, my lord, oblige.
Serial number 6, WPS 5728 of 2008, Mr. Neeraj Naran Mishra, Mr. Ajay Kumar Pathak.
Yes. Who is appearing?
I am appearing for state lordship.
I'm appearing on behalf of respondent number 8, Malin.
Use for the petitioner. Yes, state.
Yes, lordship.
Yes.
The petition has been filed against the Aam Sabha happened in 2008, lordship, and the private respondent has selected being a Anganwadi Sevika, lordship, and the present petitioner has challenged that order, lordship, by way of writ petition. A counter affidavit has been filed, lordship, and kindly see annexure F, page 44, lordship.
What is annexure 10?
Representation, lordship. Representation, lordship.
Yes.
Earlier, petitioner has filed another writ, lordship. This private respondent, lordship, and that has been disposed of. And after that, this private respondent has given liberty to represent before the deputy commissioner. And after taking the representation, or deputy commissioner has passed order and cancelled the earlier appointment, lordship, and directed to.
And thereafter, a fresh appointment process started.
Yes, started, lordship.
And this petitioner participated in that appointment process.
Lordship, in that process, 2 dates has been held, lordship. One date she was appeared, but that too was cancelled due to 2 groups were formed against the selection process, lordship, and police were called for.
Just tell me one thing. The second round of appointment, whether the petitioner participated and her case was considered also or not?
He was participant in earlier Sabha, lordship, but later on did not participate, lordship. notice has been given to her lordship. Para 11, page 13, lordship. Last line, lordship. May I allow to read, lordship?
Yes. Just a minute. No one appears on behalf of the petitioner. This case is adjourned for 3 weeks.
Apply, lordship.
Serial number 7, WPS 24 of 2009, Mr. Farkamat, Mr. Shekhar Pratap Sinha for the petitioner.
May I please your lordship, my lord petitioner was from prior to 3/10/2013, petitioner was working as a principal in charge principal in Shahid Bhagat Singh Inter College, Japla. Thereafter, petitioner was removed from that post, and my lord, in view of Annexure 4, page 26, the petitioner filed this writ. Annexure 4, I am reading, my lord, for a moment, my lord.
Just a minute.
Annexure 4 is page 26, my lord.
26.
26, my lord.
Your writ petition is only 18 pages, 19 pages.
Lordship.
So where is page 26 in your writ application?
26, annexure, my lord.
Your writ
Annexure.
petition, 19 pages.
Oh, amended petition I filed.
Amended petition. Where was your amendment allowed?
Amendment was allowed, then amended petition I filed.
Where was your amendment allowed?
Amendment was allowed. Amended petition
Amendment petition number?
ये नंबर है, ये नंबर 657.
657. No IA has been allowed. No IA has been allowed. There's no IA allowed. Restrict your prayer to the writ application itself. What is your prayer?
Next week, my lord,
These cases are being listed after such a long time.
definitely, my lord.
You're not arguing.
My lord, what is ये number इतना stands page number, my lord, date order dated 8/4/2021. 8/4/2021.
8/4/2021.
Lordship.
Which case you are arguing?
3460 of 2020 WPS.
This is WPS 24 of 2009.
Wrong. This is, my lord, in this case, my lord, I pray, my lord, this to withdraw this case, my lord, which will about to, because
Sure, you are-
press cause of action has arisen.
Are you sure you are appearing in this case?
Yes, but that was different case, my lord. Just it is, my lord, another case, my lord.
You want to
I
withdraw
want to,
this?
this has become infractious, my lord.
Mr. Shekhar Prashad Sinha, 6 application as the same has become infractuous. Prayer allowed, dismissed as withdrawn.
I'm for the state, Your Lordship.
Yes, please.
Okay.
Serial number 8, WPS 2173 of 2009. Ms. Rita Kumari, Mr. Manoj Kumar, Mr. Mitlesh Singh.
My lord, I am appearing in this case, my lord.
Yes.
My am I audible, my lord?
Yes, yes. What is your prayer?
My lord, the prayer is for quashing of annexure 8, my lord, page 27, by which, my lord, a respondent number 8 was appointed as teacher, my lord, in madrasa.
Yes.
So he was not legible and was approved by annexure 8 by the Jharkhand Academic Council, my lord. This is my submission for your lordship's consideration, that a candidate who was not legible according to the guidelines required, my lord, annexure 1 we have will show, my lord, the guidelines of Jharkhand Academic Council. It's a letter given to this very madrasa whose appointment is being challenged before this honorable court, my lord. Now, this was annexure 1, my lord. The next page, the minimum requirement at the top, my lord.
Yes.
Next page, my lord. Ulum Magarib गोवा मैट्रिक इंटर ग्रेजुएट के पद पर नियुक्ति के लिए मैट्रिक में कम से कम 45% 45% प्राप्तांक अनिवार्य है. Now here the respondent number 8, my lord, who has been appointed, and without calling us, my lord, इस सब मदरसा में ये सब बहुत हो रहा है. तो यहाँ पर देखा जाएगा एनेक्सर 2 उसका ही एप्लीकेशन है जिसमें वो 36.71% मार्क्स है उसका. His own application, and we have also annexed the mark sheet also. Annexure 2 is page 15, my lord. This is an application by respondent number 8, my lord, which shows matric, my lord, 36.71% marks. Total 257 he got. So 45% marks isko nahi hai. And the petitioner, my lord, was having more than 45% of marks. Annexure 4 will show, my lord. मेरा 53 point something है marks percentage. my lord, not appointed, and no one was called for the interview. This is also we have said, my lord, in para 12. It's all behind the back. And in counter of the madrasa.
What is the counter of Jack?
जैक का काउंटर मदरसा का काउंटर पैरा 9 में है कि हम लोग गाइडलाइंस नॉट बाइंडिंग ऑन अस. दिस इज व्हाट मदरसा सेज इन पैरा 9.
Which for the Jack?
Your Lordship, I am appearing for Jack, Your Lordship.
Do you have any qualification criteria for appointment of teachers in madrasa?
Your Lordship, for every appointment in madrasa or madrasa and Sanskrit schools, Your Lordship, they seek permission from Jack, and the Annexure 1 shows that these are the conditions which was laid by Jack for the appointment, Lordship. And in this case, Your Lordship, after receiving of this writ petition, a letter has been sent to DO for inquiry. But because the case has taken up after so many years, so I have not taken the latest update. But for we have sent letters to DO for the inquiry on the complaint of the petitioner, Lordship. So state will be right now. State can answer whether DO has sent the inquiry report, because we sent approve the appointment of the respondent, saying that it is a temporary appointment. If there will be any complaint, that will be subject to the inquiry, Lordship.
Yes, state. Who is for the state?
Because I appear for the respondent number 8, Milas, the selected candidate. Milas.
Yes, what do you say?
Because I say, Milas, that the petitioner had appeared in the interview and in the written test, Milas, and he has obtained 0 marks, Milas. That I have annexed also. Milas, if
maybe whether you were qualified or not.
Milas, I have qualified, Milas. I have annexed an advertisement also, Milas, and nowhere in the advertisement it is mentioned that minimum of 45% marks is required in matriculation, Milas.
There should be a minimum marks. This guideline is not binding.
Milas, earlier, Milas, there was a direction of this honorable court to the Jack, Milas, to give a clarification in this point, Milas, whether
you are still working.
Milas?
Are you still working?
Yes, Milas, I'm still working.
Yes. State? Which for the state?
Because the interview was conducted on 25/8/2008.
Maybe interview conducted.
Because altogether 12 candidates were called for, 9 appeared. I stood first in the process. The petitioner secured.
You may stand first, second, or third, but if you lack the basic qualification, then how can you be called for interview?
We had filed representation to the JAC, my lord, in 2009 itself, which we have annexed. And
Yes.
it's a 7, my lord.
State pays grant to these institutions. This institution receives grant from the state. Which for the state? Who is appearing for the state?
Your Lordship, may I submit in serial number 8, Your Lordship? And name of GP2 is appearing, and GP2 file is transferred to our office, Your Lordship. But in this case, my senior Manoj Kumar's name is appearing on behalf of the petitioner, Your Lordship. So we cannot appear in this case. And file is also not with us.
If you provide grant, the state fund is given to these institutions.
My lord.
Just tell me what is the nature of control you are having. Your grant, your money cannot be squandered without any control.
एक थॉरो इसका इंक्वायरी हुजूर करवा दिया जाए जनरल रूप में. Para 9 is specifically the madrasa says, my lord, encounter. If we are not bound by the guidelines.
Who is appearing for the madrasa? Who is appearing for the madrasa? Who is appearing? Who has filed the counter? Who has filed the counter?
Counter managing committee of the madrasa.
Who is the council who is representing the madrasa? Madrasa is respondent number?
Plus 4.
Respondent number 4, my lord.
Where is Shresh Gautam?
My lord, करीब 150 विलेजर्स लिख कर दिया 2009 में रिप्रेजेंटेशन हम लगाए हुजूर. काइंडली सी मिलॉर्ड किस तरह से मदरसा काम कर रहा है. 150 विलेजर्स. उसमें कहा है कि सीबीआई की इंक्वायरी वगैरह करवाया जाए. इसमें फोर्स्ड सर्टिफिकेट पर ये फकरुद्दीन एक वहां पर है हुजूर, वही सब कर रहे हैं. सब असिस्टेंट टीचर, ये सब समूचा 150 विलेजर्स का लिखा वो पिटिशन है और 2009 में सर्व हुआ झारखंड एकेडमिक काउंसिल को. बट नो एक्शन हैज बीन टेकन ऑन दैट, my lord. It's a very serious matter. Your lordship will take it, my lord.
May I pray, it may be passed for the day, I will just verify perhaps for respondent number 4 also we have filed an
Where have they stated that the guidelines are not applicable?
That is in the affidavit of respondent number 7, who was the member of the selection committee, paragraph 9, of the counter by the respondent number 7. Because I appear for 7 and 8 both. But,
stop paying grant. Stop the grants. If your guideline is not applicable for them, stop paying grants.
Because we have what we have stated in paragraph 9, may I just place that?
Stop the grants. The school will do whatever they want. Let them arrange their fund and do whatever they want, not at the cost of public money. If a person is not qualified to be called for to be called for selection or interview process, is not qualified.
May I just submit one thing,
interview also.
Jack may file an affidavit clearing the fact whether that 45% eligibility criteria was applicable for madrasa schools or not.
Yes, we have taken in our letter, so it's applicable. On behalf of Jack, I'm submitting that. That the Annexa 1, which is annexed by the petitioner, that we have laid all the guidelines, these are all applicable and binding upon the madrasa for their appointment.
Let it come in the affidavit, I'll respond to that.
A very serious matter, my lord. And then before this court, my lord, on affidavit saying not bound. जो मन में आ रहा कर लेंगे.
That it's an administrative order, so it's not bound upon us. So for administrative,
what we have said,
the state has to pay, lordship, because we have to just grant the application and the approval. State.
Who will represent the state in this case?
I will inform to another law officer, Your Worship.
Call the additional advocate general. Call the additional advocate general.
Those statements which are made by the petitioner that he has not participated in the selection process is entirely wrong. I've annexed the documents which say that he has participated and he has got 0 marks.
Mr. Counsel, petitioner is not eligible to be appointed. That doesn't make you eligible.
Respondent number 8, my lord.
Yes. If the petitioner is not eligible, that doesn't mean that you are eligible.
I am eligible, my lord. Petitioner is eligible.
You got 0 marks.
In the tabulation, उसका देखा जाए सबको 0 0 कैसे देता है लोग?
Because you know very well. You don't know anything?
रिटन एंड ओरल में कई को जीरो है उसे.
You are equally bad.
पेज 16 में पूरा टेबुलेशन दिया है जिसमें 0-0 करके मनमाने ढंग से आर्बिट्रेरली मिलॉर्ड सब बैठा देता है.
Milords may come to page 12 of my affidavit, Milords, respond number 8.
Yes.
Tabular form में Milords petitioner का नाम reflects in the serial number 1, Milords. Tahiri is the written test, Milords. He has got 0.
Your appointment is not under challenge. Your appointment is under challenge.
Because what is their locus to challenge my appointment? Milords? They have appeared in the test, Milords. They have secured 0 marks. It does not make the petitioner eligible to be.
Can't they challenge if what is quo warranto? Are you? Can't they invoke quo warranto?
Milords, if Milords may say the prayer of the petitioner, Milords. They have not prayed for quo warranto, Milords.
Listen to me. Listen to me.
Milords.
If a petitioner comes for a particular with a particular relief,
Milords.
if he is not entitled to get that relief,
Milords.
and while going through his claim, I find that the person against whom the case is filed, against whom the relief is sought for, that person is also not entitled. And by dismissing this writ application, an illegality will be perpetuated. Will this court allow to perpetuate the illegality?